Welcome to Sports Talk with Ninja and JMO, where you get all the sports knowledge you need. All right, it's the Angry Ninja Sports Show. It's JMO. How's it going, JMO?
I'm doing good. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing awesome. So we
I
have
bet you are. Go ahead. Go ahead. Rub it in. Go ahead. You can go ahead. Rub it in.
I'm not gonna rub it in too much because technically we were both wrong. Because
Technically, we were both wrong. Only you got it wrong in the game before. That's it.
yeah, well, I picked the Suns to win the whole thing. I just thought they were doing it in 7 games because I thought it was going to be a close series. So
No,
technically,
you said the Bucks were going to win in 7.
no, I said the Suns. I may have said the Bucks, but I meant the Suns. I know what I wrote down on my paper. If I said it incorrectly, that's on me. But I said
Right.
the Suns in 7. I defended the Bucks with you because you basically said it was going to be a blowout.
Right.
That the Bucks were going to
Oh,
win.
it was.
What game
It was
get
a blowout.
lucky?
So let me just go ahead and throw a disclaimer to our listeners out there. If you are a betting man or woman, and I come up with any type of prediction, run to the bank and cash everything you have, your house and everything, on whatever I bet against. Because I have the worst luck when it comes to predicting anything.
Well, and it wasn't just bad luck with this one. Like, you just didn't have any faith in the Bucks, even though they've been the best team at making adjustments. Is what they did all season.
Yeah, but they played in the East against nobody. Who'd they have to beat? Think about their path to the finals. Come on. It's probably the easiest path anybody's ever had.
Yeah, but the Suns weren't. I mean, the Suns were good, but they weren't the team people expected to be there either.
Well, at the beginning of the season, but after the season started, they had no choice but to expect them to be there. They just kept winning.
Yeah, but
They had the second best record in the league.
my thing is, and this just proves what I've always thought about any single sport: records don't matter. It's how you compare to the other team you're playing. You could be 12-0 football team going up against an 0-12 football team, but if their players
All that matchup.
match up better, it don't matter. You can still lose that game, and that is what happened. The Bucks made adjustments, and their star player lost his mind too. He went
But
off.
basketball is a little different, though, than football. Because football, your lines control a lot of the game. So if you got a good offensive line or you got a good defensive line, or even if you don't, you just match up better against that team you're playing with, you're going to have success with the ball. Well, in basketball, usually your stars are your stars. Your guys that are going to score baskets are going to score baskets. And then the ones that aren't usually aren't. And so it's usually pretty consistent with the basketball teams. So I
Pretty
don't know.
consistent, but occasionally you'll get a matchup like, they call that one. I forget his name.
Like nobody can stop the Geek Freak. That was Phoenix's problem. They had nobody that can even step half. I mean, nobody on their team even touched Giannis's shoulders. Come on.
I know, and they won. So yeah, I just wanted to. I'm not gloating because I actually thought they were winning 7, but at the same time, I have to gloat because I told you it was going to be a better series than what you said. I just.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And,
The Suns decided they didn't want to win no more. The Suns decided, 2 games was enough.
like, we made it to the finals. We're good.
Yeah.
Have you heard any more rumors about Leonard? Not Leonard. What's his name?
Oh,
Oh, Kawhi.
yeah.
Kawhi Leonard? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not Kawhi.
Oh.
Portland Trailblazers.
I don't know. We're talking about going to the Lakers, and I've completely blanked on his
I haven't
name.
even heard anything else though.
No, nothing? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I
Nothing.
figured in the season maybe some stuff popped off. Do you think the Lakers make the comeback next year? You think they pick up that third piece?
LeBron's done it every freaking year. He always finds a way to add another piece to the puzzle to make him better.
I want to know who's his private detective that gets the dirt on all these other players to make them come play with him. That's
Right.
I'm really beginning to believe that's what it is. He's got like Belichick private detective team searching for dirt on players, make them come play with him.
Right.
All right. So the other big news in sports this week, which technically is sports, I just don't know anybody who cares about the Olympics. Like, does anybody actually sit and watch this massive amounts of coverage on the Olympics that you know?
Yeah, that's what I love.
I mean,
Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard.
was that the one we were talking about? Okay.
Yeah, Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
You
So,
wouldn't have asked me. I'd have brought the story up myself.
you think he'll make it? You think he'll go?
Oh, I think he's going somewhere. He's leaving Portland. He wants a championship, but he's never going to win one in Portland.
Well, every player wants a championship, but I don't think you'll get one by going to the Lakers or LeBron. The Lakers is where old players go to die.
If you have Lillard, LeBron, and Anthony Davis on the same team, that's probably the biggest big three there's ever been. Come on, like seriously.
I have 2 picks for next year to win the finals, and you write this down. I have the pick I want in my heart, and the pick that I think I might do it after reading some stuff and looking some stuff. And unfortunately, I agree with Vegas.
No way, really?
I do. I think if the Nets can stay healthy, they're going to win it. That's what my head says.
They don't have a big, though. They need a big.
I think they can do it without a big. I think they can take it, and the way their team is, if everybody stays healthy, they're having major health problems. I think they can win it. My heart, though, is I just love the way the Warriors play basketball. I love the way they built their team. They did most of it through the draft, not through, head hunting. So I always want the Warriors to win, but I think the Nets are going to do it.
I'm a huge Seth Curry fan myself, so I wouldn't be disappointed with that.
So what is your head and heart pick, or do you even have one yet?
I don't have one yet.
You don't have one? Well, think about it. We'll get that next week. All right. But the Olympics, something happened this year in the Olympics. It hasn't happened since 2004, and I did want to hit on that. And do you know what that was?
Yeah, the freaking USA team lost in the opening round.
Right to France. We lost to the country that surrenders to everything. They surrendered to a sneeze once.
Right.
Like, we're going to evade you.
Before now, because they had lost their 2 exhibition games, but you got to remember the finals were still going on.
Yeah.
So Booker, those guys weren't playing yet. Well, they had them last night, and they still lost. But at the same time, they hadn't had time to practice together or anything. So, I mean, it is possible that they'll turn this around. But looking at the squad, I don't know how they're losing. Do you think they'd have a freaking monster squad?
I mean, it's not Space Jam. It's not the Monster Squad.
Right.
No, I don't get it. And, like, it's not like France is known for putting out the world's greatest basketball team. So unless they go hire the Bucks coach to make their adjustments, I don't know what's going to happen. It is.
I'll tell you what, the Olympics as a whole was just weird. Did you happen to catch any of the opening ceremonies?
I didn't. I unfortunately had to do this thing this week called work.
Empty stadium.
Well, yeah.
Like they usually have 65,000 people inside this stadium that are going nuts, screaming and hollering for hours and hours and hours, and each country comes out and the people go nuts, and it's a huge deal. It was just so different. It was like so somber. It was like they had the teams coming out and they did the parades and stuff, but they were in front of nobody. It was the most awkwardest opening ceremony I think I've ever witnessed with the Olympics. It was just weird.
And that's not going to change. They've already had a COVID outbreak at the Olympics with the athletes.
All right.
So it's not going to get any better. This new variant is scaring people pretty bad, but I think we'll be okay. I don't think we'll have to go back to the crazy lockdown stuff, but I'm afraid all sporting events are going to, where they eased up on those restrictions, I think they're all going to be coming back.
I don't know about that.
I hope not. I hope I'm wrong.
There's much money involved.
Well, that's just it, though. Like, they're looking at some of the sports, and not so much like NBA, but like football and stuff. They do make money from the stadiums, but they make way more money in their TV deals. And now, since there's talks about streaming service paying exclusive for teams to be on their streaming services, like in their local area, it's going to get ridiculous. So the teams aren't going to need the stadium money anymore, at least not in football. Now, basketball, that's 80 games. That's way different. Basketball and baseball. Oh! Sidetracked me. I didn't mention the story earlier because I completely forgot it till just now. Did you hear the news about Cleveland?
What about them?
And we're no longer going to have the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, yeah. They changed their name. The fans weren't happy about it either.
I understand it though. I'm not 100% okay with it, but yeah, it's the Cleveland Warriors. That's what they're going to be. I think they wanted to get to the Warriors name before Washington took it.
Right.
No, yeah, the Cleveland is changing their name. I actually didn't know until this popped up where the name Cleveland Indians came from. Did you?
I do not.
I don't have the story sitting in front of me. Like I said, I forgot about it. But they actually named the team after a Cleveland player who was a Native American.
Right.
So they started calling the team the Cleveland Indians because at that time, that's what we thought Native Americans were. We thought they were Indians, which is just... Honestly, the name Cleveland Indians just kind of proves America's stupidity for the longest time because I thought that's just what they were. I didn't realize when I was a child growing up for a long time, that India was a whole nother country that were Indians. And yeah. Or is that just me? You're not talking. You're just going to let me hang in here, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You suck. Okay. So, yeah, but it was actually because named as an honor. And to me, that one wasn't like the Redskins. It wasn't like a slam. So I thought that one would be safe. Hopefully the Atlanta Braves are still safe.
I don't really like to touch base on those type of subjects just because they're so touchy anymore. And no matter what opinion you have, you're wrong, and you should be canceled, and you're an idiot, and you're whatever. And so I just stay away from those type of topics. Not that I wanted to leave you hanging. I just try not to even get involved in the whole topics of why the name was changed, should it have been changed, blah blah blah, all that good stuff.
Well, see, I'm not gonna say it should or shouldn't. I'm just saying I understand.
Right. I understand too, but at the same time, knowing that end of the story kind of makes it a little different. I mean, obviously they weren't slanging anybody; they were actually trying to harm them. So,
just the facts.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna move on now to a little NFL talk. And
it's becoming almost that time of year, my almost favorite time of the year in fantasy football. I love fantasy football.
So who's your number one pick in fantasy football right now? You got the number one pick.
Now, the number one pick is Christian McCaffrey, of course.
Really?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to hit you with some fantasy football stupidity. Who's that?
The running back for the Carolina Panthers?
There's a running back in football besides Derrick Henry?
Yeah. I knew where this was going already.
Is he actually projected?
He's not even listed as the fifth best running back on the draft.
Really? Okay, come on now. That's a little ridiculous. He should at least be in the top.
No, probably. I think they got him ranked like in the sixth position. But the thing is let me fix this. Hold on. He's got Travis Kelce ahead of him too. They got Travis Kelce going fourth as a tight end, so.
Oh, come on.
But yeah, remember, fantasy football is based around scoring.
And I know how many points Derrick Henry put up last season.
Right.
I'm just saying, and his team and him only got better this year. Unless they're thinking he's going to lose points because of Julio Jones. That's
possible.
That might be it. Yeah, I don't follow fantasy football that so much, so I can actually see that. If you have one offensive player and he's the whole offense, that would be way more important than somebody who's just part of a set of three.
Mm-hmm.
Because what else does the Panthers have? Like, in all seriousness, do we even expect them to win a whole bunch of games this season?
Well, I'm a Teddy Bridgewater fan, so I hate that they got rid of Teddy Bridgewater, so I could care less if they win or lose now.
Right. Who'd they even put in at quarterback?
What's that?
Who's the Panthers put in at quarterback?
They drafted. No, they didn't draft. They picked up I'll have to look.
Yeah, like, it's bad when you can't even, like, I don't know. Like, they got rid of everybody.
Right.
Oh. What do you think is going to happen?
I was actually looking that up the other day because, like I said, I'm a huge fantasy guy. And so I was actually looking that up the other day and trying to figure out who it was. And I was like, really? Oh, Sam Darnold, from the Jets. They picked up Sam Darnold from the Jets.
So they picked up
so they're going to be on top of the world. Guess who they play their first game against?
The Jets?
The Jets.
So they'll win one. Okay. But being better than the Jets is not really an accomplishment. I'm pretty sure my old high school team's better than the Jets.
All right, just to make your day, let's look to see who the running back order is. All right, so see, I lied to you. Dang it, I hate it when I lie to you.
See? Who's number one?
Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, and number two?
Devin Cook.
And number three?
Derrick Henry.
Okay, see, top three. I'll take top three. I'll take top three all day long. That's not bad. That's good company to be in right there.
But the only reason he's number three, because he was number 4. And, of course, like I said, they had Travis Kelce ahead of him. So, overall, player-wise, he was number 5, was because of Saquon Barkley. But now Barkley's possibly going to be out still to start the season. So,
all right. So, I'm going to make a bet with you right now. We're going to bet jelly beans because you can't discuss betting money on a podcast. So, we're going to bet 5 jelly beans. Are you ready? That by the end of the season, barring injury, because season ending injury disqualifies the bet. Period. 5 jelly beans says Derrick Henry by the end of the season has the number 1 points for a running back.
And I will go one further and say I'll take your bet, but I'll even tell you who it's going to be because you're wrong.
Oh, I'm wrong. Okay, so I don't want to win now.
Right. So you're wrong. It's not going to be Henry with the most. And I'm not even going in the top 5, right? So I believe that the running back who's going to have the most points at the end of the season, and this is going to probably blow your mind. You're like, there's no way. But write it down so we'll have it on documentation because it's going to happen. Nick Chubb from the Cleveland Browns is going to be the number 1 running back at the end of the season.
I can actually, it's the Cleveland Browns. I have trouble with that just because it's the Cleveland Browns. But at the same time, I can see that because they don't have an offensive line. So, yeah, he's going to have to run for his life just to get anything.
When he gets downhill, he's a beast.
Yeah, no, he is.
I'm surprised he's not getting more love. The only reason he's not getting more love is because he plays for Cleveland.
That's the whole reason. Like, great players go to Cleveland and learn how much they can suck.
Right.
That's the whole reason Cleveland's in football. All right, so we're going to move on to another story. We haven't hit on a whole lot, and I don't want to get in too much onto it, but it seems like it'd be an awkward situation from the beginning, and that's Deshaun Watson reporting to training camp at the Texans.
Well, he's only reporting because he has to.
He's only reporting. But do you even really want somebody there that doesn't want to be there, wants to be traded, that you don't want to be there anymore because of everything that's going on? Can't they just give you know what? You know you're supposed to be here, but we're not going to find you. Stay home.
Me personally, the thing about this is I believe somebody in Texas, maybe a big booster to the team or something, had a falling out or something along those lines and didn't want Watson in Texas anymore. That's what I think happened. Because everything was leading towards this guy just liked to go to the massage parlor and get massages.
Yeah.
And paid whatever money it took to get what he wanted.
Right.
Like, there's plenty of people out there that do that. That's not illegal.
Right.
Per se. It's not. And all of a sudden now, like, none of the stories have been held. None of the stories have found there's not been any evidence that any of the stories have been brought up for or anything. I honestly think, and this guy was scot clean. Like he was like your ideal player. Like he was in the community. He was helping. Like he was like a freaking Aaron Rodgers. Like you wouldn't expect anything negative to come out of his camp. And then all of a sudden this pops up out of nowhere. That don't happen unless somebody made it happen.
Well, if we're going to the conspiracy side of this, there's a couple of things that I found out reading articles and stuff that I found very surprising. 1, squeaky clean player. 2, unhappy in Texas, was demanding a trade before the end of last season. He wanted out because he saw Watt was leaving. He knew he was never going to be able to win there. He wanted out. 3rd, the lawyer who filed the first complaint against him with the first witness, I think they're like 24, 25 now, is best friends with the owner of the team.
Right.
I almost feel like, conspiracy theory-wise, that they didn't want to lose their best player. And they thought maybe if they ruined his reputation, he wouldn't be able to be traded or be able to sign with another team. And now they have this giant mess. If we're going conspiracy theory.
Or to take it up further, they did it to ruin his reputation so they can get rid of him cheaper. It wouldn't cost them very much money.
So, yeah. But, no, honestly, though, he doesn't want to be there. The team, at this point, doesn't want him there. Could they, and this is more of a question, if you don't know, putting it out to the audience, could they have waived the fine and just not let and say you don't have to come? Right. Is that a team fine or is that an NFL fine?
I think it's an NFL fine.
I honestly don't know. If it's an NFL fine, okay. Well, I'll lie on the piece of paper and say you showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And we now have firm evidence that this will be Aaron Rodgers' last season in Green Bay.
Oh, yeah? How do we have that evidence?
If he even plays in Green Bay.
How do we have that evidence? I haven't heard that part yet.
I'm taking this as evidence. You can take it as you want. Green Bay made him an extension offer that would have made him the highest player in the history of football.
And he said, fuck you.
He said, fuck you. But yeah, they offered him an extension that would have made him the highest player in the history of football, and he said no.
That is when you know things that went south.
Like, it's not about the money anymore. It's not about anything. He's like, I don't care how much money you give me. I don't care how many hookers you throw through the window. I want to go play somewhere else. So he very well may.
What's crazy about that is, though, I've done business with people I like many a times.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make me the highest paid player in NFL history? I think I can forgive you, at least for the next however many years you extend my contract for.
Right? But no, he's like, I'm out. I'm done. Good riddance. Goodbye. See you later. So that's, to me, that's the firm evidence. He will. I mean, if he plays this year, it'll be his last year in Green Bay. He's done.
Right. So to me, what I didn't understand is, like, why wouldn't you just go ahead and take the money, right? Because in the NFL, all you got to do is not perform well, and you're no longer going to be in that position. They're not going to put you on the field to help them lose. So all you have to do is take the money, start the first game of the season, throw a couple of interceptions. Start the second game of the season, throw a couple of interceptions. By the third game of the season, he's probably going to be on the bench anyway.
And the reason for that is the real reason.
He'll be the highest paid player in the history of football sitting on somebody's bench.
Right?
I'm betting that way. That's the way I would handle it.
I mean, except for he wants to win, so he wants to go somewhere he can win. And I guess he's afraid if he starts doing that, nobody will want him. That would actually be my thought. I think he sits the season out.
I think I could get over people not wanting me on their team with $400 million in my bank account.
I think he wants some more Super Bowls. I think he wants to beat Brady in the Super Bowl.
That ain't gonna happen.
I think that's just like he wants to be the one who dethrones Brady. Sadly, it's not going to be him. It's going to be Tennessee that dethrones him. But whatever.
Correct.
Okay.
I haven't heard of any team on the AFC side that was interested in picking Rodgers up anyway. All the teams that were showing interest were all in the NFC. So he wouldn't have a chance to dethrone him in the Super Bowl anyway.
Dethroning him in the championship game would be close enough.
Yeah.
You take him out of the AFC championship game, that's the same. Just like when Tennessee beat them in the second round of the playoffs a couple years ago, everybody was real excited. So
yeah.
But that was an amazing run that year. We got a lot of good teams. All right. Let's see. That's Deshaun. Let's talk about Rodgers. The Texans picked up Anthony Miller. That's no real big deal.
Oh, we got to talk about the trip to the White House by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Did you catch this?
I'm 100% missed it.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to listen. Wish this upon me.
The one-liners that Tom Brady was throwing out on the microphone were absolutely hilarious.
Oh,
absolutely hilarious.
Do you remember any of them?
I'm saying it now that I've said it. I'm like, oh gosh, I can't remember them. I wish I could.
Oh.
I gotta look this up and see if I can find it. Oh, it was great though. It was so great.
Like, was he making fun of Trump, or was he just bragging on other teams?
Oh, you could say he was making fun of Trump.
I mean, was he happy he wasn't being served a Big Mac in the White House?
Oh, here we go. Hold on. Maybe I'll pull this up real quick.
I'm trying as quickly. Oh, there we go. Tom Brady jokes about election results as Buccaneers visit the White House. That's ballsy. That's the lead to this article. Does it have any of it in there?
I think I would be able to. I think I would be able to tell you something right now.
Oh, hit me! I want to hear it.
Hold on.
Oh no! Long pause.
So the first thing he said was we worked all year to make sure we could get this together and make sure we could win. And about 40% of the people didn't believe we could do it. As a matter of fact, about 40% of the people still don't think we won.
Oh.
That was the first joke he tried.
Oh man. Ooh. Yeah. No, that's awesome. See, and I'm glad the teams are actually going back to the White House again. That's just great. And of course, they gave Biden the jersey with
Hold on one
46.
second. He said, all right. He said, so I forgot one down in 21 years. Forgot what down we were on. And people started calling me Sleepy Tom.
Ooh.
Why would anybody ever do that, President? And he looked at the president. The president just shook his head.
Man. So we know who Brady voted for.
Right.
Oh, wow. And that, I think that's a good spot to call it for this show. Oh, that is, you know what I'm going to do when we get off here is I'm going to go watch that whole thing.
Oh, you should. It's great. It was awesome.
All right, guys.
I had never been excited about a team going to the White House ever, but it was great.
That is great. That is, like I said, I'm going to have to watch it. All right, guys. That's going to be the show for today. Hope everybody has a good week. J-Mo?
Yes. I hope I have a good week, too. Thank you.
All right. Everybody, peace out.
Later, guys.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. It's all part of the Ninja Podcast Network with all the shows featuring Ask the Angry Ninja Show, Not a Kid's Game, presented by the Angry Ninja, which is our D&D podcast, the Ninja News and Politics Show, Sports Talk with the Ninja and J-Mo, and our newest podcast, Outrageous Stories with the Ninja, featuring occasional special guests. Great shows, great stuff. If you want to reach any of us, you can go at asktheangryninja@gmail.com. You can reach us on Twitter at cman2342. You can get us on Facebook on the Ask the Angry Ninja Show Facebook page. Any of those places, if you want to support us, we appreciate that. Go to patreon.com/worstjokes. And if you join high enough tier, you'll get a free gift. And we just appreciate any support and feedback. You guys have a wonderful night, and we'll holler at you later.